What's up and welcome to Me, You, and Switch 2. I am me, Tom Tate, and you are you. So let's talk about Switch 2. This is the latest and greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news brought to you every Tuesday and Friday in snackable episodes. We try to keep things 10 minutes or less. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. Otherwise, welcome back. I hope that you had a great weekend. I actually played through Legend of the Mystical Ninja on Super Nintendo this weekend, and man, does that game still hold up. I love that game. It was all muscle memory. It was all coming back to me the second I started playing. I'm trying to figure out what to play next. So if you have any suggestions, I'm on Blue Sky and Instagram at Switch2Pod. It's Tuesday, March 10th, and if you spell out MAR10 and you put those together, you get Mario. So it's officially Mario Day, and Nintendo has celebrations in order. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury's soundtrack is now available on the Nintendo Music app. We have sales on the eShop for the Mario and Luigi games. I think Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is like $5.99 or something ridiculous. There's some new Mario titles available on Nintendo Switch Online. Mario vs. DK for Game Boy Advance, and then you have 2 Mario games for the Virtual Boy, if you happen to pick that up. And yesterday, we got a final preview for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I'm very stoked for this. I watched the preview. We saw Pixar's Hoppers over the weekend. Great movie. 5 out of 5. Love that movie. And they had a Mario Galaxy trailer, and the whole theater was laughing, cheering, making noise throughout the trailer. And that was just the trailer, right? Adults, kids. It was great. So I'm really excited for this. The new trailer that debuted yesterday showcased Wart from Super Mario Brothers 2, the United States Super Mario Brothers 2. That's voiced by Luis Guzman. And then we also learned that Donald Glover is the voice of Yoshi. So I hope that you enjoy your Mario Day today, however you choose to celebrate. As for news, there's not a ton going on, so we'll keep this as quick as possible. I'll drop some links to a few Blueprints reviews. Again, we saw Blueprints debut on Switch 2. It was shadow dropped at the last indie showcase. I picked this up over the weekend. It's on sale. I haven't started playing it yet, but here's the official description. Draft your own adventure. Welcome to Mount Holly, the mysterious manor with shifting rooms. In Blueprints, you embark on a genre-defying experience filled with a unique mix of mystery, strategy, and puzzles that weave together to create an unpredictable journey. Will your explorative steps lead you to the rumored Room 46? So this game was applauded as like a top 10, top 5 game for a lot of video game journalists last year, and podcasters really love this. A lot of shows that I listened to, they raved about this. They spent weeks talking about their progress, and it's reviewing pretty well on Switch 2. There's been a few notes here that because it's 30 frames per second, that can be a bit jarring if you played it with better performance. And the reviews that mentioned this said that they got used to it, but I'm imagining they probably played this on PC or PS5 or something, and that is why it felt different. Nintendo Insider gave it an 8 out of 10. Nintendo Life's Jim Norman gave it a 9 out of 10. So the joys in that review: a sublime puzzler with depth for days. Far more mysteries await under the surface. Rogue-like structure encourages daily experimentation. Wonderfully simple visuals and score. You'll feel like a genius time and again. And the cons: randomness won't be for everyone and is occasionally frustrating. No cross saves mean everyone will be starting from scratch. So again, if you played it on PS5, you're going to have to start fresh. There are also some Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection reviews popping up. It looks at first glance, just checking out some of these reviews yesterday, it looks like the Switch 2 version is not the best way to play this game. I saw reviews citing multiple slowdowns and performance issues, and it is on other platforms. So IGN's Casey DeFreitas reviewed on PS5 and gave it a 9 out of 10. So this is from the IGN review. Verdict: I loved every step of my obsessive Monstie collecting journey in Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. It smooths over the mild frustrations and complaints I had with its already great predecessors, leaving only a finely tuned loop of hunting, hatching, restoring, and upgrading that perfectly feeds into itself every step of the way. The joy of finding a new cool monster, figuring out how to build its stats and skills to best fit it into my team, and finally riding off into the sunset with it is unmatched. Nintendo Life's Thomas Whitehead reviewed this for Switch 2, gave it an 8 out of 10. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection is another strong entry in this series and deserving of a place at the top table alongside a number of other excellent RPGs on Switch 2. A well-told story, an intriguing world, and some excellent mechanics ultimately overshadow the usual for this series, balancing issues and performance wobbles. If you want to collect them all within a charming Monster Hunter setting, this game will keep you busy for a long time. I'm just going to read the cons here. Performance issues can be disappointing, needs an optional frame cap, and difficulty spikes will force some grinding. So again, 8 out of 10. In other news, Hori, they make a lot of different accessories for Switch. They shared some awesome Rosalina and Mario variants of their wireless HoriPad Turbo controllers. These will launch on March 13th, 2026. Hori makes a lot of cheap controllers, but these, I think, are closer to $65, and they look to be more premium. They're wireless. Hori makes a lot of wired controllers, too. We have a bunch in this house because my kids love them. They're smaller. Amazon just decided out of nowhere to raise the physical price of Pokemon Pokopia, to $80, which you don't often see. Like, you don't often see Amazon just deciding to do this. Or maybe you do, and I've just never noticed it, because the digital version is still set at $70. So the MSRP for this game is still $70, but I think because stock is limited, Amazon is just selling them for $80. There are a few new videos to check out on Nintendo's official YouTube channel if you are looking for some things to catch up on. Kenna Bridge of Spirits announcement trailer, Ratatan announcement trailer, Planet of Lana 2 out now trailer, and the Super Mario Galaxy movie final trailer, which I mentioned earlier in the episode. So that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you so much for your time and your attention. Again, you can find me on Blue Sky and at Switch2Pod. I'm on Instagram at the same. That's Switch with the number 2 pod. Don't post much, but I'm always there, always available to message if you want to get in touch with me. Be sure to subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts. A kind rating or review really goes a long way, helping to get the word out for the show, trying to grow. It's been growing every single week, so I really appreciate that. I don't do any promotion. I do zero promotion for the show, so I thank you. It's all kind of organic discovery, and you letting friends, family members, Discord servers, subreddits, wherever you hang out, gamers, letting them know, that goes a really long way, so I appreciate that. Of course, I will be back on Friday. We'll see what kind of excitement we have this week with the news, and until then, much love. Now go play some games.